Tonight, National Guard troops will be armed while patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. A DoD official telling NBC News they're officially authorized for self-protection. It's a scene.
Hold on one second. Give me a second. Lee Hub says the median home price in Oakland is $700,000 and the median home price in Detroit is $100,000. Okay, that's cool. Let's assume that that's true for the sake of conversation. So you're saying that you're paying more for homelessness, tent cities, drugs, and crime. So you guys are paying more in property taxes, you're paying more in interest, you're paying more for services, and you can't even get the police to show up because y'all 800 police officers short. So the criteria for determining whether or not you should live in a place is how much more expensive it is. And this is why Californians are delusional as it is. He think that they are doing themselves a great. Their fucking airport don't even have any more hotels near the airport. Their airport don't even got the hotels that were close to the airport in Oakland is closed. They don't have a sports team to go and visit and look at. They don't have a sports team. He think it's a flex to pay more for less. This is what's wrong with black people. This is what's wrong with boomers. This is what's wrong with Generation X. Because he got a profile picture and I like to interact with the chat, I'm going to go ahead and entertain him for the sake of conversation. He thinks that it's a flex to overpay for housing in crime-ridden communities that you can't even really come back from. The Oakland A's moved to a different city in California until they can get over to Vegas. Crazy. And this is what's wrong with the old people. This is what's wrong with these people. Instead of saying, yo, yes, we need to tamp down on crime and not have so much corruption and crime and we just ousted our mayor and so on and so forth. Instead of saying that, they want to compare themselves to somebody else as though that's going to make their situation better. It's the most ignorant thing that you can do. But I'm a nice guy today. And so I like to entertain the chat. But man, listen, bro, that's not the flex that you think it is, bro. It really isn't. It's not the flex that you think it is, but listen. God bless you. Congratulations. Go ahead and do your thing, big dog.
Tonight, National Guard troops will be armed while patrolling the streets of Washington, D.C. A DoD official telling NBC News they're officially authorized for self-protection. It's a scene Chicago is hoping to avoid. Their mayor, Brandon Johnson, tonight pushing back on President Trump's threat to send the National Guard to more American cities.
We don't need cities across America occupied by our military. They don't have policing powers. They don't have arresting powers.
The president also suggesting on social media this morning, I will send in the troops to Baltimore after targeting New York and Chicago in the Oval Office Friday.
We'll go ahead and we'll straighten out Chicago just like we did D.C. Chicago is very dangerous.
According to Chicago police.
Finally, a president that cares about the people. Finally, a president that cares about the people. He cares about the well-being of people, and he's willing to solve for the problems inside of y'all communities. Have y'all thanked Trump lately? Hey, Chicago, y'all about to have a cleansing, an ethnic cleansing in Chicago. Have y'all thanked Daddy Trump lately for coming in to save y'all? Y'all should. You should. You should be thanking Trump on your hands and knees. Hands on your knees. Hands on your knees. How low can you go? Can you go down low? All the way to the floor? Y'all should be preparing a feast for Trump to come in and save you guys from yourselves. To save you guys from the person that y'all voted in the office. Ain't y'all about to lose y'all football team? Y'all about to lose y'all football team, right? Swear I just heard that y'all about to lose y'all football team.
Statistics, murders, robberies, and shootings are all down more than 30% this year. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accusing Trump of abusing his power and saying in a statement that there is no emergency that warrants deploying the National Guard. Chicago has been a frequent focus of Trump's criticism, going back to
We all know that the numbers is juiced, so we just gonna completely ignore that. Ain't no need in beating a dead horse.
first term when he set hundreds of federal agents in 2020 to target violent crime.
Help is on its way.
But the latest threats come after the president mobilized D.C.'s National Guard this month and took over the California National Guard in July over the objections of state and local leaders. As Illinois leaders and the ACLU vow a swift legal response.
There's a higher barrier for the president to send National Guard into Chicago, but he's going to have to articulate a reason for doing it.
Shaquille Brewster joins us now from Chicago. And Shaq, the Trump administration may have a harder time getting National Guard boots on the ground where you are in Chicago compared to here in D.C.
Absolutely, Hallie. Leaders here are raising constitutional and states' rights concerns, suggesting that legal pushback would come almost instantly. It's a similar line of messaging that you're hearing from Maryland's Governor Wes Moore, who's calling Trump's use of a National Guard a scare tactic. Hallie?
We thank you for watching.
So
And remember,
they don't. All right. So these liberal cities are basically fighting to actually reduce crime inside of their cities.
There is pushback tonight from Chicago's mayor after President Trump's threats to deploy the National Guard. The Washington Post reports the Pentagon is planning to deploy troops as soon as next month. NBC5's Casey Standahar joining us with the latest developments. Casey, lots going on.
Yes, Natalie, it's already happening in D.C. tonight. The U.S. National Guard troops will begin carrying firearms. President Trump called Chicago a mess and said our city could be the next target for National Guard deployment.
Today, for the first time, we heard directly from Mayor Brandon Johnson. He said Trump's plan is uncalled for, uncoordinated, and unsound.
This is costly, illegal, and unconstitutional. I'm going to use every single tool that is at my disposal in order to keep the people of the city safe.
Under federal law, President Trump cannot unilaterally call up the National Guard unless he invokes things like the Insurrection Act. But that's not stopping him from making statements like this.
The people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one, but they're wearing red hats.
The Chicago Police Department reported a 30% decline in crime. Governor J.B. Pritzker making a statement saying there's no emergency that warrants deploying the National Guard.
Is he going to try to put National Guard around Michigan Avenue or downtown? Or is he going to go into Englewood or other parts of the city that do have a crime problem?
Former Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel appeared on CNN on Sunday and was asked how he would handle crime amid President Trump's plan.
I would say work with us on public safety. Here are the 5 things you could do.
I don't like when people try to give me a list of things that I can do when I'm trying to come in and help you. I'm not in a negotiating move. And if you had things that you was able to solve for and you knew what the identification of those things were, then you would have solved for it already. Let me hear what y'all feel about Rahm Emanuel. How do y'all feel about Rahm Emanuel? Here are the 5 things that you can do for us. You know what I like to say. You know what you could suck, right? You know what you can suck, right? I don't need your list. If your list was working, then it would have already been solved for. If your list was worthy of having a conversation about, then this would have already been solved for. What do I need your list for? Here are the 5 things that you can work with us for. And you know what the 5 things usually come with, right? Send us some more money. 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 That's all it does. That's all they want. That's what Baltimore's mayor was asking for. Hey, Trump, can you please send us just some more money? We don't need your help. Nope. Nope. Because if I got to come through and if I got to get involved, then everybody is going to suffer. Heads has got to roll. If I got to come through and I got to deploy resources in order to fix these stupid cities, heads got to roll. You know what was, when the crime really spiked was around the time that they had the Democrat National Convention last year, because they deployed all of their police officers into the downtown area where the Democrat National Convention, where they were doing free abortions, and all of the cities was left to all of the neighborhood, the rest of the city was left to defend itself.
Technology to deal with carjackings, prosecuting gangs and gun violence in the city.
Why do you need help with prosecuting gangs and gun violence inside of the city? Think about what they're saying right now. Why do you need help with prosecuting gangs and gun violence inside of the city? Y'all don't know how to prosecute gangs and gun violence inside of the city?
Technology to deal with carjackings.
Technology to deal with carjackings. Y'all didn't have ShotSpotter before that y'all removed out of the city? Y'all don't have police officers patrolling the city?
Prosecuting gangs and gun violence in the city, working on the issues of drugs and guns coming into the city, and helping coordinate task force that deal with confronting gangs throughout the city. Those are the things that I would say right now.
Yeah, it's called the National Guard.
Now partner with us. Don't try to come in and act like we can be an occupied city.
Now, Mayor Johnson says he and Governor Pritzker are closely aligned on this developing situation. The mayor is planning to speak to the press with an update sometime tomorrow. Now,
I can't wait. I love Brandon Johnson. I think he's hilarious, bro.
And after seeing massive success in our nation's capital, President Trump is now looking to expand his crime crackdown in Chicago. But Democrat Mayor Brandon Johnson is pushing back. Listen.
What this president is doing, he's declared a war on poor people, picking on homeless people, picking on the most vulnerable. That is not what the people of Chicago are going to stand for. We're not going to surrender our humanity to this tyrant. I can tell you this, the city of Chicago has a long history of standing up against tyranny, resisting those who wish to undermine the interests of working people. We're not going to back down.
Anthony Napolitano is a Chicago alderman and a former Chicago police officer. He joins me now. Thanks for getting up with us to talk about this. If you were still on the force, would this be welcome news for you, or do you think this is overreach?
Oh, no, this would be absolutely welcomed. Our officers need as much help on the street as they could possibly get. I mean, if you look in the last...
Our officers, a former police officer for Chicago, says that their officers need as much help as they can get on the streets.
Year's statistical facts always reign supreme. We got 19,600 people shot in the city of Chicago. Just this weekend alone, 19 people shot, 4 dead, one of them a 5-year-old. So
how can you not want help with that? How can you not help with one of the people that was shot and killed was a 5-year-old? I forgot. It's Monday. Daycare is open. I got to be very careful. 19 people over the past weekend. One of them that was shot was a 5-year-old. You got no murders since Trump took over D.C. Zero. Zilch. Nada. No murders. Carjackings down over 90%. A 5-year-old. Who's going to answer for that? Who's going to solve for that? Wouldn't you want if Trump had invaded and took over the police force and sent the National Guard into Chicago a week earlier, that 5-year-old might still be alive. That 5-year-old might still be alive.
So give us all the help we can get. I encourage, welcome, and I hope President Donald Trump sends some help to Chicago. We needed all the help we can get.
Yeah, I think the NYPD and several of their officers are welcoming that news, too, that he said it was going to come next. Pritzker said Trump is trying to manufacture a crisis, but when you read off those stats just now, it doesn't seem like this is manufactured at all. It seems like this is Chicago and their leadership not leading and doing anything about the problem.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you know what? This has an economic reverb on as well. I mean, not only are people scared to go on the streets, our businesses are afraid to open in Chicago as well. So there's a trickle down effect. It's not just the crime and the fearful people to go out and walk around the city of Chicago. We can't even get businesses to come here anymore. Our Mag Mile has never seen so many vacancies. It's Chicago was the hub of central United States. People came here on their way from coast to coast, and now we're begging people to come back to Chicago.
Don't worry, we're gonna take that. We're gonna take that crown. Michigan coming to get that crown. Don't worry about it. We gonna take that crown. We coming to get it. I know that's supposed to be our cousins over there. Do you want to ride with me? P-I-M-P ology, but logically, be you learning these host biology? Obviously, well. Do you want to ride in the backseat? I know y'all supposed to be our cousin, but we're going to go ahead and take that business. We're going to go ahead and take that business. Have y'all seen the Mag Mile? Have y'all seen the Mag Mile lately? It's crazy. It's crazy. The vacancy rate, they say that it's almost above 50%. They say that 1 out of every 2 stores are closing or has closed on the Mag Mile, and that nobody wants to visit it because it's not safe, or at least the perception of Chicago and their reputation has gone downhill. Chosen One says, nah, AD, Chicago would always be on the top of the Midwest. How you figure that? Y'all don't even have no money. Y'all broke. Y'all broke. Y'all don't have no money. Y'all operating in the deficit. That's just the facts. Listen, I'm not lying. For us in particular, here, I'll give you an example. I'm gonna give you an example of a well-ran city. Okay, so for Detroit, Detroit is running ahead of budget projections for 2024-25 fiscal year with a strong income tax, gaming, property tax revenues leading to an expected, not unexpected, expected budget surplus. The city plans to continue to build its reserves, including its rainy day fund, and has dedicated a portion of recent surpluses to community improvements and retirement benefits. For the 11th consecutive year, the city is expected to end the fiscal year with a surplus. 11th. Primarily due to strong performances. These surpluses has allowed the city to hold nearly $500 million in reserves, including funds for retiree pensions and the city's rainy day fund to protect or provides a cushion against economic downturns. Surpluses has been used for neighborhood level projects such as improving parks, remediation blight, and replacing sidewalks. It's great. Listen, projections show continued economic growth supported by income tax revenue, though at a more moderate pace than recent years. We're doing really well in the city. Shout out to Detroit. Let's go Chicago. Let's just replace one word. Chicago. We're going to leave it at surplus. Chicago did not have a budget surplus. Rather, the city faced significant budget deficits, especially in 2025-26, with projections of over $1 billion of a deficit in 2026. It's a big difference. Don't worry about it. Let's go to Los Angeles. No, the city of Los Angeles did not have a budget surplus. Instead, it recently approved a budget for the 2025 fiscal year close to nearly $1 billion deficit. Let's try Denver. Why not? Let's just keep going across the board. Does Denver have a budget surplus? No, the city of Denver did not have a budget surplus. Instead, it is facing a significant budget deficit of reported $250 million in a shortfall. Hey, why we at it? We might as well throw Oakland in there too. Oakland budget surplus. No, Oakland does not have a budget surplus. It is facing a multi-million-dollar budget deficit with recent projections indicating a $260 million shortfall over the next 2 years. The city recently passed a balanced budget by using additional revenue streams and cutting vacant positions to address the deficit and avoid deeper cuts to services like public safety. You know what? I like the prospects of my city. I like the prospects of Detroit. I am going to continue to hold down a city that I was born and raised in. We went through it, and so we learned from it. Y'all didn't learn from our mistakes, and now we're operating at a surplus. 11 consecutive years. 11 consecutive years. We put money up for the rainy day fund. We making sure that pension obligations are continuously bolstered. We're making sure that we got investments. We just opened up new retail stores downtown right in the Hudson's building. We got renovations going on, a new $10 million park right in the heart of the city. Man, it's crazy, right? Shout out to Oakland with your great property values that you pay a lot of property taxes on.
You responded to, I mean, there's no telling how many calls. You saw things firsthand. You spoke to the people of Chicago firsthand. When you hear this rhetoric that's coming from the Chicago mayor, it's coming from the governor, do you think this is really what the people of Chicago want? I mean, I know they vote these people in, but they can't want this. Surely they want crime to be at a minimum.
Yeah, this is political agenda. This is when Chicago and our current administration always puts politics over people.
So Anton fixed the airport. DTW is one of the best airports in the nation. DTW has one of the best airports in the nation. It is Delta's second biggest hub right behind Atlanta. What are you, crazy? DTW Airport. Detroit Metropolitan Wayne County Airport, DTW, received top rankings for customer satisfaction from J.D. Power in 2023 and was named the third best airport for stress-free travel by AirHelp in March 2024. They also ranked high for shopping, dining in 2024, USA Today Best 10 Readers Best Poll, recognized with the Skytrax 3-star airport rating for facilities and comfort. What are you talking about? Have y'all ever been to McNamara? Y'all don't know nothing about that? Don't worry, I travel all over the country. The only other airports that I've personally seen that even comes close to the comfort and serenity that comes with DTW is probably Salt Lake City. It's probably Salt Lake City. Outside of Salt Lake City, there are very few airports that are as good to travel out of as DTW. And that's the facts. That's a fact. I travel out of all of them. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Houston, IAH, all of the ones in DC. The only other airport that I can tell you that's even remotely close to comfort and greatness is probably Salt Lake City. That's it. And I travel all over the country. Vegas, oh, no. No. I travel all over the country, and there is no other airport out of Salt Lake City that I actually think is dope. All the rest of them, Tampa, Jacksonville, Oklahoma City, New York. New York is a mess. LaGuardia, Newark, all of those airports is trash. All of them. It's just the facts. I'm telling you the truth.
Following an agenda. Unfortunately, in Chicago, like in other cities, we have a socialist agenda that reigns supreme at the top of our administration and a couple of city council members as well. It's not what Chicagoans want. They want someone to step in. A lot of them, when you go word to word on the street, they want the president to step in. They've seen what happened in Washington. We need that help here. And when I was on the street, we encouraged, if we had state troopers to help us, if we had the county to step in to help us, you always encourage more people to step up and help you, especially when you have this big of a problem.
Yeah, especially, you saturate the area with as many people as you can, and hopefully it deters more crime. My question to you here, we talk about these liberal leaders of these cities coming down on Trump. Do you think there would be this much of a problem if it were reversed and it was somebody like Joe Biden or Barack Obama sending them in?
No, you know what? They would all of a sudden cherish it. They would celebrate it, and it would be something that's, like I said, it's always about party. It's never about people, and especially how that affects Chicago. This is just, we have a poor administration right now. We need some change immediately, and people have to be put first. We're losing. I've been saying this for the last 6 years. 2 administrations that have just destroyed Chicago. We need help. We need someone else to step in here and help us. We need someone to step up. We need to start pushing the wrong people out. And we have to get rid of this socialism in Chicago. It's not.
Chicago, y'all got to get rid of your leadership. That's just the honest to God truth. You have to get rid of your leadership. I'm telling you, Chicago, y'all gotta divest yourself against y'all leadership. Y'all leadership is horrible. It's bad. It's absolutely egregious. It's bad. It's horrible. It don't hit. And no matter how y'all keep on trying to deflect away from the truth, and y'all keep on trying to make sure that, that things is all awesome and it's not, y'all leadership is bad. And honestly, and I've been telling y'all this for a long time, y'all are headed to bankruptcy. It ain't no other ways around it. You are headed to bankruptcy. All of these major cities will collapse because you don't have any revenue coming in and you can't overtax the people anymore, and nobody wants to live there. Over here, we got low property taxes. We got abundant housing. It's a lot of building going on. The downtown is flourishing. We got all 4 teams within a quarter of a mile of each other. People usually, you can walk literally 1 step over from Tiger Stadium over into the Lions. You can walk from Tiger Stadium straight up, literally walk straight across the street. You go from Comerica Park, Tiger Stadium, right over to the Lions Den in Ford Field. And then you walk up the street and down a couple blocks. Next thing you know, you're right at Little Caesars Arena where the Pistons and the Red Wings play. All 4 stadiums within a quarter mile of each other. Great public. Don't even have to find no parking downtown. You can literally park 3, 4, 5 miles away and take the free Q train and go straight to your event.